Historically, stocks have often looked better on paper, but homeowners can still build real wealth in real life. Why? Because money is not just math, it is behavior. And behavior is where many financial plans succeed or fail. Subscribe and turn on notifications for educational finance videos that help you make more informed money decisions. Section 1. Same income, different outcomes. People love arguing about real estate versus stocks. One side says, buy property, they're not making more land. The other says, use broad, low-cost index funds. But both sides miss the real question. Who actually follows the plan? Meet Caleb and Morgan. Both are 34. Both earn around $95,000 a year. Caleb buys a reasonably priced home. Morgan rents and invests the difference. Caleb has the house, garage, mortgage, and weekend projects. Morgan rents, invests quietly, and has nothing exciting to show at family dinners. But 30 years later, who may be ahead? The answer depends less on the asset and more on discipline. Section 2. Stocks win clean math. Pure return math has often favored stocks. Over long periods, broad U.S. stock indexes have historically delivered stronger total returns than national home price indexes. Future returns are never guaranteed. Stocks are also simpler. No property taxes, no roof replacement, no broken water heater, no surprise insurance jump. Morgan invests automatically every month. She does not mow, fix, or replace anything. She just keeps buying. That is the clean version, but real life is not clean. Stocks may win the spreadsheet, but people do not behave like spreadsheets. Section 3. Real estate uses leverage. Here is where real estate fights back. Leverage. If Morgan wants $375,000 in stocks without borrowed money, she generally needs $375,000. If Caleb buys a $375,000 home, he may control it with a smaller down payment and a mortgage. Say he puts 10% down. That is $37,500, controlling a $375,000 asset. If the home rises 3%, that is $11,250 in appreciation before cost. Compared with his down payment, that can look powerful. But leverage cuts both ways. If the home falls, Caleb's equity can shrink fast. Morgan's stops can fall too, but without margin debt, she is down, not trapped. Leverage can increase potential gains. It can also increase risk. Section 4. Home ownership forces discipline. So why do homeowners often end up wealthier? One reason, a mortgage can act like forced savings. Every month, Caleb has to make the payment. Part of it may build equity. He cannot skip it because he feels tired. He cannot panic sell the house with 2 taps. He cannot easily cash out because the market had a bad week. That friction is annoying, but for some people, it protects them from themselves. Home ownership does not always beat stocks, but it can force consistency. Renting and investing can beat buying. Renting and spending the difference usually does not. That sentence is the debate. Section 5. Hidden costs change everything. Now let's remove the fantasy. Caleb says, my house went from $375,000 to $487,500. He feels like he made $112,500, but that is not the full math. He also paid taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, closing costs, mortgage interest, maybe HOA fees, and maybe an HVAC bill right after vacation. Real estate does not have an expense ratio like an index fund. It has surprise invoices. One year, nothing happens. The next year, the roof wants $14,000. So yes, real estate can build wealth, but a home value estimate is not your actual profit. The house may be worth more, but you also fed it money for years. If this makes the math clearer, tap like so more people can see the comparison. Section 6. Renting can be smarter. Here's the uncomfortable part. Buying is not always better. In many U.S. metros, renting can still be cheaper than buying after mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Morgan rents for $1,700. Buying a similar place may cost around $2,600 all in. So she invests the $900 difference every month. That is not throwing money away. That is buying flexibility and liquidity. But she has to actually invest it. If she spends the difference on travel, takeout, subscriptions, and upgrades, the advantage disappears. Renting works financially only when the savings are saved or invested. Otherwise, it just feels flexible while quietly building nothing. Section 7. Stocks require emotional control. Stocks are simple, but not easy. Morgan can buy a low-cost index fund in 5 minutes. Then the market drops 25%, headlines get scary, the app turns red, and long-term investor becomes, maybe I should wait. That is where people lose. The problem is not always the asset. It is often emotion. Real estate slows Caleb down because selling a house is expensive and stressful. Stocks require Morgan to create discipline herself. Automatic investing helps. A long time horizon helps. Not treating every market drop like personal danger helps. If she stays consistent through bad years, stocks can be powerful. If she sells whenever she feels uncomfortable, the spreadsheet return is not her real return. Section 8. Real estate needs patience. Real estate needs patience too. Caleb should not buy a home he may sell in 2 years. Closing costs, commissions, moving costs, inspections, and repairs can eat up the game. Real estate usually works best when he buys what he can afford, stays long enough, and does not treat home equity like an ATM. The smarter move is a home that stabilizes housing costs without choking the budget. That leaves room to invest. Because the strongest plan is usually not real estate or stocks. It is real estate and stocks. Section 9. The hybrid path. Here is a practical formula for many Americans. Consider buying a modest primary residence when the math works. Not because renting is embarrassing, not because your cousin bought one, not because the kitchen island looks nice. Buy when the payment fits. The emergency fund is real, you plan to stay, and you still have room to invest. Then consider low-cost, diversified funds. Build cash reserves. Invest automatically. Avoid unnecessary fees. Keep it boring. The home gives stability. The investments give liquidity and long-term compounding potential. The hybrid investor may get both, a roof over your head and money working outside the walls. Section 10. Discipline beats asset debates. So which path may build more long-term wealth? Stocks are often stronger mathematically. Real estate can be stronger behaviorally. Stocks are liquid. Real estate is tangible. Stocks need control. Real estate needs cash reserves and patience. If you rent and invest aggressively, stocks may win. If you rent and spend the difference, homeownership may beat you. If you buy too much house, real estate can make you house rich and cash poor. If you buy modestly and invest the surplus, you may get the best of both worlds. That is the real answer. Not stocks versus real estate. Discipline versus leakage. Real estate and stocks build wealth in different ways. Stocks may win the return math. Real estate may win the behavior math. The smartest path is usually building a system you can follow for decades. 5 quick takeaways. Stocks have historically compounded faster. Real estate uses leverage and forced discipline. Homeownership has hidden costs. Renting works better financially when you save or invest the difference. The best plan often combines both. I am curious to hear from you. Would you rather own property or invest more in stocks? Do you trust yourself to invest the difference while renting? Drop your answers in the comments and subscribe for more educational personal finance content. Thanks for watching.